My name is Kathryn Nagle, and as Deborah mentioned, I'm with Pipestem Law, and we're currently working with NIWRC. And you can read more about the initiative in the magazine, but the point really here is that VAWA is under attack. And although the restoration of our tribal jurisdiction to protect our women in 2013 was a huge, major, monumental victory, we now have to defend it. And it's under attack in the federal courts, and specifically the United States Supreme Court. And so the NIWRC has undertaken this initiative to be at the forefront and to ensure that any time our sovereignty or our tribal jurisdiction to protect our women and our children is in question in a federal court, the Native women in this country will have a voice. We recognize that the victory of 2013, when Congress and the United States President passed a law restoring our jurisdiction, that victory came from our women. It came from our tribal leaders who came to DC and lobbied. So Dollar General is just one example, and for those of you who weren't there or maybe haven't heard about how the oral arguments went, Justice Kennedy made it pretty clear that he thinks tribal jurisdiction over non-Indians is unconstitutional. He said that explicitly during the argument. So the challenges are ahead of us. We know what they are, and we have to start preparing now. And that means getting our strategies together. We have a lot of different legal teams in place, which is great, but like we said, the Native women's voice is very important. And so we filed 2 other briefs recently too. You can read about them in the Restoration magazine. One is in VAWA versus United States, the oral arguments on February 29th. And that's about the ability of the federal firearm prohibition to apply to our tribal court convictions of domestic violence offenders. And the next one coming up is United States versus Bryant, coming down the 9th Circuit, and that has to do with the VAWA habitual offender provision. And so I won't bore you with the details of those, but I'll turn it over to Wilson to maybe offer a few words as well.
You know, I had the honor of working on the Violence Against Women Act and the advocacy that happened here in Washington, D.C., and the gift that we received from our creator to get that law enacted. Because just a short time before the bill became law, it didn't seem possible that it would happen. Now, we can tell you today, as Mary Kathryn said, that law is under attack. In tribal courts right now are exercising jurisdiction over non-Indians. Tribal courts right now are putting non-Indians in jail for domestic violence. That is one of the benefits of the Violence Against Women Act, and so that protection has begun. That's worth celebrating. There needs to be greater efforts on the part of our male leaders to say that this is for us to do. Women are taking the lead in remarkable ways. We're seeing it. But men, we have to be there to be a part of the solution ourselves. So part of that is being able to protect sovereignty of Indian tribes as they work to protect the women and children in their communities. So I just want to thank you for the opportunity here to speak to you today. Thank you.
Ask for your support on this initiative. We all need to work together. Every single one of us from all 4 directions need to really help support this efforts to help maintain tribal sovereignty and help protect our women and children. And I also want to recognize that we have a lot of men standing beside us and a lot of men holding us up through this. So we want to protect our young boys and our men as well. So it's all included. This is one love. It's very much honoring our women, but we stand beside our brothers, our uncles, our grandfathers. So we want to thank our men as well for standing beside us and helping to champion this bill. And we're also gearing up for VAWA 2018. So that's a whole nother hour that we need on the panel here. But with time being short here, we just want to thank you for this opportunity to speak on this initiative, and we ask for your support, and we thank you very much for your leadership in Indian country. ACM Tigwitsi.